Picked this up yesterday. It's going to be a Christmas present, but I thought I'd show it before I give it. Generous person that I am. And it's the DK Dorling Kindersley Star Wars The Force Awakens The Visual Dictionary. And the price of it is 15 quid in the UK. It says the complete guide to Star Wars The Force Awakens. The Visual Dictionary reveals all the characters, creatures, droids, locations and technology. And that's the back of the book. This character's really cool design, and you've got all of this stuff here. So I saw the film again yesterday, and so I thought somebody would like this as a Christmas present. So it's the Star Wars Force Awakens Visual Dictionary. So here's the first page. Nice picture there. Kylo Ren. And then we've got this, which is all the different things in the new movie, strange looking aliens, and the visual dictionary, cool looking thing there. Got the First Order troops there, a list of all the contents. It's going to go through, these have been out for so many of the movies that you know the format. Introduction, Star Wars The Force Awakens. And there's the Millennium Falcon. And then this bit's quite interesting because it tells you the background of the New Republic, the First Order, and the Resistance. And from this you gather that the First Order, there's a sort of truce between these two organisations, but with the New Republic in power, but the New Republic's been sort of mired in self-interest and being politically ineffective, and so the First Order, Leia sets up the First Order Resistance to keep an eye on the First Order. And then you've got some of the planets, Mandalore, Alderaan, Inner Rim, Outer Rim, all that sort of stuff. And then we go on to BB-8. What a cool little droid. Always moving. What a great character. Friends in Flight. That's Poe. Then we've got Poe Dameron at 32 years old. Rebel roots. Poe Dameron was born towards the explosive end finale of the war between the So there's loads of stuff you can read, and this is why you're going to buy the book, for the information. There's Poe in his X-Wing pilot outfit, and it tells you about the X-Wing. Customised X-Wing. Nice ship. Then we've got Lor Santeca, played by Max von Sydow. Really good character. And then we've got people that live on Jakku. These aliens are pretty cool. Equipment they have. We have the First Order Stormtrooper. Looks cool with the additional packs there and this massive blaster. Training regime. Advanced Arsenal Troop Transporter. The Riot Stick. That's the Riot Control Stormtrooper there. And then the blaster. Wicked. Then we've got a Flame Trooper. Nice. And then the backpack they use. Flamethrower Tactics, cool. And we have Finn, FN 2187. And obviously that number's reference to the Holding Soul in episode 4. He's got a blaster. And there's the blood that gets on his helmet. Great Escape. There he is, looking rather chunky. He's not a slim guy. Finn. He's got no rebel blaster there, or First Order. A deserter. At the guns of the Millennium Falcon. we got onto Kylo Ren, quite a good character, well acted anyhow. And then the new ship, the Finalizer. It's almost a trice of the old Empire Star Destroyers. For travel to planetary service, Kylo uses an Epsilon class shuttle. There's the shuttle. And then his unstable serrated plasma blade. Kylo Ren, Dark Warrior. Having studied Jedi skills as well as arcane dark law, lightsaber combat. Then it shows you how the lightsaber works, the inside workings. Cracked Kyber crystal. So that goes all the way back to the splinter of the mind's eye when they were searching for the Kyber crystal. Then we've got Captain Phasma. Yes, she was underused in the new movie, but so was Boba Fett, and you know, this character's still going to be really popular, and I've heard she's going to be more used in episode 8. There's a blaster. Stormtrooper Commander. Very tall. Cool looking figure. I just got the Captain Phasma, the chromed out version by Hasbro. Then we go into Rey, Life and Jacko. Daisy Ridley. There's the helmet she has. The doll. And we have her in a scavenger outfit, a speeder. I really like the design for the speeder. A Tough Life, Rey Survivor's Spirit. Cool. The blaster. This looks like the gun from Blade Runner, or influenced by the design from Blade Runner, if you ask me, but with a longer barrel. Tito. There's a tiny part in the film. Lovely shots. Steel peckers. These iron beaked carrion birds are drawn to the magnetic signature metal to break down the metallic Wicked. And we have Comfortable Zuvio. I didn't even notice him in the movie, man. Nema Outpost. And then we've got Psycho Plank, who didn't feature much in the movie at all. Psycho's blaster. Then we've got Encore Plot, who Rey trades with. She trades junk for, you know, food parcels. Uncle's Thugs. Anonymous Muscle. This one's been put out as a figure in the 2-pack with Tito. Then General Hux, he's a great character. He's a really good foil to Kylo Ren, and has no fear of Kylo Ren really. He's just like, you know, back in 77 with Grand Moff Tarkin and Darth Vader. There's his blaster. And we've got more Imperial or First Order personnel. New helmet design, which isn't as good as the original designs. And then we've got female Imperial officers or First Order officers, and designs that are really very similar to the Empire. New TIE Fighter pilot and regular TIE Fighter. Slightly more advanced, and then the Special Forces TIE Fighter and the Special Forces TIE Fighter pilot. Han Solo, great guy. And then you've got his ship there, where he has those 3 savage beasts on board that, when they escape, cause so much mayhem. Looking kind of like in Empire Strikes Back there, with the jacket. And then we have Chewbacca with his bowcaster, which Han seems to like to fire. After how many years they've been together, Han would have, I'm sure, used this before. Great shot there. Chewbacca. And then we've got these are the Raftars. These are the aliens that Han and Chewie are carrying aboard their ship, which escape and cause so much mayhem. Gravian Death Gang. He seems to be, his role seems very similar to the original Jabba the Hutt from 1977, the Irish guy, because this guy's an Irish guy as well. And, you know, sort of playing that sort of similar role. And then the Gravian Gang security soldiers, really cool. Love these designs of these guys. The Gravian Gang's red armoured foot soldiers are faceless killers, sworn loyalty in exchange for cybernetic augmentation. So they are human. They look really cool though. Underused in the movie, but you know, they look really cool, Gravian Gang members. Then you've got Kanji Club. This is the other gang that's after Han Solo. And then you've got the other members of the gang. All seem to be Orientals. Then we've got General Organa. And yes, she's old and all that sort of stuff. Her voice is croaky and stuff like that, but she's still good in the movie. And, you know, there she is with Han. There's a resistance fighter. Obviously the new resistance and the First Order are very inclusive these days. Here's some resistance commanders. And this guy here, Admiral Akbar. I guess they've aged him a bit. His voice is a bit croaky now. Dr. Colonia, she has a good part with Chewbacca. Major Emat, looks a bit like Crix Medine. And there's Admiral Akbar, and you know, looks pretty cool. And we've got some of the Resistance pilots. Snap Rexley, what a name. And obviously we've got a female pilot, and we've got Ella Asti, and is that Nian Num? Yes, it is. Wow, they've aged him, but he looks pretty cool still. Glad they have him in the movie. And then we've got Resistance ground crew. There's Ghost Towers. Hardly see him in the movie, but they've put the action figure out already. And then we've got this strange looking alien. Then we've got PZ-40. Doesn't say a word in the movie, but they've put the action figure out. Great looking character though. And some other droids. Astromech we've seen before. Buford loading droid. And then we have some of these characters all showing that we are coming from an inclusive galaxy. A fussy protocol droid, C-3PO with his red arm, salvaged arm, saying that he's uncharacteristically quiet when it comes to discussing his salvaged arm. A memento of another droid's sacrifice. R2-D2 hardly does anything in the movie, he's mostly asleep until at the end of the movie he wakes up and gives them the second part of the map that they need to find Luke Skywalker. Then we've got the Senate. We don't really see much of these characters. Strange looking. Their planet gets destroyed, which is probably a good thing. Get rid of them. Yep. More political correctness here with the casting. Starkiller Base, joint operation. More or less another Death Star built into a planet. Starkiller officers. And then you've got the crew there, our heroes, about to infiltrate the base and send it to Kingdom Come. Snowtroopers. Don't really see much of the snowtroopers. And then a snow speeder. You only see that in one scene, the snow speeder. cold weather gear. Helmet designs. Maz Kanata. She's sort of symptomatic of this sort of being in touch with all your feelings and, you know, caring pirate. Sort of, she sort of gets Rey to face her background and say that she can't really go back to Jakku. She's got to move forward and take Luke's lightsaber, which she doesn't want. And, you know, then we've got this band here, which is nothing compared to the Cantina band in episodes 4. The music's pretty, you know, ethnic, pretty awful really. Maz's castle, this character looks pretty cool. Huge alien. And then we've got her, she's a sort of grasses up our heroes to the First Order. Don't even see this character there. These two are really cool. Captain Ithano, his costume just looks amazing. They have to do an action figure of him. And then this guy here, Krigold, he's not too bad. And then there's this droid here. He's a spy for the New Republic. Resistance. Castle Guest. He's sort of got a hammerhead sort of design there. We've got these creatures here. Huss triplets. Near-feral subhumanoids. These Huss thugs are frequently itching for trouble in the main hall of Maz's castle, but other larger beings keep the peace. They look pretty cool though. And then we come to the index, and you've got all the different things in the book. Acknowledgements. This droid's pretty cool. And then an image at the back of the film book. So that's your Star Wars, the Episode 7 Visual Dictionary, which for in the UK is $14.99. If you wait a while, it should get discounted because they're going to publish so many of these. Good book though. Force Awakens Visual Dictionary.